going on the books. Can't escape from the team, called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it. Call the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Monday, March 24th. I'm just a little late to the party here, later than normal. I was catching up on the latest social media news, and we'll be talking sports and sports betting, NCAA tournament previewing action today from the NBA, NHL, college basketball. We're going to get an early start today in the men's game with action from Florida with the CBI tournament. 3 games going off here. One of them in just a short while. They're playing 3 back-to-back to keep us entertained this morning. I'm also watching some World Cup qualifying here with action from Africa here with Namibia and Equatorial Guinea. Couple goals here real quick. Hey, I'm desperate for some sports action. I'm so desperate I'm caught up in the world of, I don't know, douchebaggery. Can you say it? Yeah, I said it. I woke up here a little while ago to, I thought I could, rest in a little bit, try to perk up a little bit from yesterday and, see Perky in there. That's why I said that, my man. And we were able to make it over there last night over on Nuke the House. So I felt pretty good. I feel a little bit better here today. But, did my work last night. And I said, I'll try to rest in here. But man, when I got up and saw the tweet storm by the world's greatest sports bettor, Sean Perry, I had to take note as he takes up against the most high-profile bookmaker from the sports book that offers the biggest limits in Vegas. There's one way to make sure you don't get your action down by calling people fucking clowns on the internet. I'm talking to you, Sean Perry. Hey, we'll invite him on the show here. He doesn't need me. He's got 18,000 followers and he follows his 3 friends. So why not take up his name in vain and try to see if I can piggyback and hitch a ride to superstardom in sports betting influencing. It's not working here at the any of my appearances on any of these channels. We're just dealing with a couple of great friends here. So why not pick on this guy a little bit? What a douchebag Perry is with some of his comments. I mean, there's one way to be a businessman and there's another way to just make yourself look like an absolute fool. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is the world's greatest sports bettor. He said he'll put up $1 million a game and stream all of his plays live online. Now that would be good content for sure. But I don't think it's quite working that way when you call out the world's most, influential bookmaker. So I don't know if you guys follow things like I do. Maybe I'm a little bit too much into the social media scene. Maybe I should focus more on trying to pick some winners with you guys. But I just thought it was great. I think the guy's great personally. I mean, if you can get away with it. Of course, there's also a way if you kind of, back in the day, if you did things like the way Sean Perry's doing them, you'd be 6 feet under by the end of the day. Promise you that. but we'll see. And just thought it was interesting how you can come out there and, it does look like a bipolar situation for sure, right? Especially when the bookmaker, does kind of use a professional uh, demeanor with his posts and, try to be cordial and welcoming to a potential client. But as I said in a tweet, I said, you know what? A whale is not necessarily a shark. So you might want to check your ego a little bit if you really want to get some of the biggest limits. Hey, I'll never touch this guy's limits. I'm not betting $1 million a game, but uh, usually you're not going to be able to bet, $1 million per game if you can't offset the line. That's why sometimes limits are set as well. But maybe some people just don't understand how bookmaking works. Maybe I don't. The same man that Sean Perry is calling out on the internet right now is a man who also has gone after me on the internet, and I'm just a little, and he does probably doesn't even remember it, but I'm just a little fish out here, and I commented I thought some of their practices were incorrect. And I stood corrected by him and some of his buddies, like the Crack Man and things like that. So, look, I think I'm pretty keen to this game. I'll never bet as big as those guys, I'm sure. I can't even decide what my next move in my life is. So, my move every day is to come here and spend time with you. But I just want to let you guys, if you guys want to follow this drama that's going to be, I'm sure Mr. Benson hasn't arrived at work yet or even woken up. Maybe someone has called them to see these latest tweets, but I talked about it last night on the show with Holden Kushner over at Nuke the House. He doesn't even know who Sean Perry is. So no disrespect to Holden. I'm just pointing out that this is going to be kind of a fun day to see what this guy has in store, and that's what he wants, and he gets attention. I'm talking about him right here in my lead to the show. So, but I know a good story when I see one, and like I said, I can sit here and call somebody names myself too and hope I get a rise out of them so I can piggyback off of their success, right? I mean, that's how you do it nowadays. Go after someone and, maybe it lessens me a little bit too, but hey, it's just our little family here. So I don't know. I kind of want to show them on the screen. They're so darn entertaining to tell the man, he calls him an effing clown, a bitch boy, and that he thinks that he was limited because he was just sharp better over there. But maybe he took a loss. I know last night he was on the winner with the Arizona Wildcats, who got it done against the Oregon Ducks. If you want to know who Sean Perry was on yesterday, I have the answers here. I follow the bettors, especially those touts that sell their plays, right? And that's what Mr. Perry says. And sometimes that's the way we do it here. He said, by the end of the day, I make my money betting sports. He says he sells sports picks because the sports books will not let him bet. Well, no book is turning me down, that's for sure. But he says if there's any book that wants to let me bet, he'll stop selling the picks and bet 1 million a game, live stream it, so we all would see the picks and we all could bet and bury the sports books. Now remember this. And for everyone who's been limited, who says they've been limited, that's because most of the time they're usually taking shots. Really, you're supposed to. I did private bookmaking. You're supposed to work with your books. I kicked plenty of players out, right? You talk about small time, right? The guy who bets a couple grand loses, and the next time he wants to bet on credit and he wants to up the bet a little bit, right? Because he lost last game just trying to get it back. We know that the secret is to win over long term and not take shots there. So I don't know, maybe he lost $500,000 on a bet or something and he was upset or whatever. But I almost wish I should have tagged those tweets with our show and maybe we could have got some more viewers here, but I don't really play it like that. And again, I just want to piggyback off of this situation and help it add to our little community and viewership and all that. But oh man, I really enjoy reading them. I mean, it's total entertainment, and that's what he's looking for. But we'll see how that goes down when you start attacking the bookmaker a little bit like that, right? Said he was working with, talked to the proprietor of the Circus Sportsbook. I think a lot of people know who that man is, and I think a lot of us revere him for his building of such a spectacular sports book, taking some of the biggest limits. Yeah, their app, it's not even a very good app if you're like maybe a degenerate sports bettor or someone who likes to place a lot of bets on a lot of different things. With the Circa, it's pretty cut and dried. Sides, totals, those limits kind of standard, and you can get down big there. I don't know. Like I said, I'll never be betting that big, but they don't take a lot of props or things like that there. They just do good, solid bookmaking and betting. And well, if you're going to call out the book that maybe takes some of the highest limits in Las Vegas or even domestically, you're going to eventually run out of places to bet anyway. So maybe it is. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe I should put my life savings on the line every day and try to attract attention that way. Hello to everyone in the chat. I'm just having some fun today here, feeling better. Hopefully we make it through this show unlike yesterday. And I'm still feeling it a little bit here, but nothing that a good Sonic slushy in the middle of the night wouldn't resolve. I was feeling parched, and I said the only thing that's going to work for me now is a Sonic slushy. So let me say hello to everyone and get the show going. That was fun to talk about. I wish I should have tagged it. I want to be famous with those guys, even if I'm a low roller. All right, here's Abel here today. Hello to Abel, Joe W. Hello, there's Perky. He's ready to talk CBI basketball. It was true. I was definitely down for the count, and maybe I lost my breakfast there at the end of the show and had to shut it down, but I think we'll make it here today. We've got some Agua ready to go. Daddy Beats, nice to see you today. R. Tomps, thank you for your concerns. It wasn't an act, obviously. I was having some trouble. And the thing was, I have energy today, and I'm excited because you feel better. That's what I told them on the show yesterday because I was pretty fired up. But, you get a little bit pumped up a little bit, I think, when it comes to feeling better, right? All right, Thomas is ready to go. Look, he likes University of Incarnate Word. Let's get it straight, people. Not you, Thomas, but some people want to say Incarnate Word University, but it's UWI, not WIU. All right. Damon says, what is going on with the NBA? Shay's crazy. Yeah, I had some rough time yesterday in the NBA, but we did have 4 winners on the card on the show. There were only 8 games, so I guess we got juiced out a little bit there, but we did have the Cleveland Cavaliers yesterday on the show. Also, we had the Atlanta Hawks laying the points here yesterday. We had the Nuggets and the Rockets game to go under as a winner, and we had also the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Clippers in that thriller late last night. And the Nuggets win, Clippers cover. We had the under easy winner here on the show. All right. Want to keep on going here, though, right now. I've got my Sean Perry. I can't wait for the next tweet. I've got my tweet deck open. I've got a special column for Sean Perry. I guess, I'm waiting for the bookmaker to respond. But so far, I'm probably sleeping in after a long weekend. On a Monday, you probably can get in all that. And let's see what else. Who else is here? Great contribution. Maybe you guys were worried about me. Maybe that's why all the comments. Yeah, it was even later than usual. But we'll probably rest up a little bit today, like Perky said there. Hey, good morning, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, tag Sean Perry, and tell him to come on the show right now. I should probably do it. I told Holden, let's do it. You want to get some viewers on your show? You want to blow up your show? Let's get this guy on here. He would never come over here. We've only got 40 of you watching right now, and this guy has 18,000 followers and only 3 friends, Offset, Des Bryant, and Elf. Hey, Elf, if you're out. Hi, Elf, if you're out there. The biggest names in sports betting Twitter. I don't know. And this man is obsessed with 2 people who barely surface anymore. He's obsessed with 2 people, thinking he's a better sports bettor than 2 people who one thinks he's a Baccarat legend, and I don't even know what's going on. All right, let's see what else is here today. Uh, I probably don't follow it even closely enough, but sure is entertaining for someone like me that loves a little. And I don't know, I try to listen to those shows, but I'm busy handicapping. These people who spend all that time doing that, I don't think they're doing handicapping. I don't think they're, crunching numbers. I don't think that Mr. Perry, I think Sean Perry right now, if you're watching Sean, he's not, but I don't think you do any handicapping. I think you're an eye test guy. I don't think you're about the numbers at all. I don't think you look at it. You may have some computers that print out. Maybe you're just going with like the Action Network. So maybe you have your own opinions or whatever. I don't think this guy knows a good line from a bad line. I don't think he knows, like a sharp from a square. Like I said, a whale is not a sharp. All right. Good morning, Fernando. How about Mexico last night? You guys getting it done against Panama 2-1. We kind of gave out the winner there on the show last night. I said I like Mexico and I like them to win, hopefully by 2. But I said it's a great play was Mexico. And under 3.5 goals would have brought you close to even money as they won the CONCACAF Nations League last night. Of course, the United States lost to Canada. Totally embarrassing right now. And it does seem like at this point, the United States is in big, big trouble when it comes to the World Cup that is coming very, very shortly. If it wasn't for the NCAA tournament, this would be a big story because this team just lost to Canada for the second time in a row. That hasn't happened in 30 years. So a really, really negative situation. A lot of finger pointing. We know they haven't had they can't figure out this coaching situation. The talented players of the U.S. who are making a lot of money overseas and don't care about their national team like many of the other countries do. That's part of the problem here when it comes to why the United States is just not competitive. They're not putting enough, maybe money too. So the president did a whale of a job, or I shouldn't say that, but he took credit. Never heard the credit, taking credit when the United States secured the World Cup. Only after he became president did we hear him say how he was responsible for helping secure the world. That may or may not be the case, but why not maybe try to fix the national team if you're so patriotic there? And let's go here. Let's continue on with our commentary here. And Fernando loving what happened with Mexico last night. Johnny Walker, there it is. Yeah, I had to do a little cleanup there, Johnny, on the side. You know exactly what happened, you guys. I came in, my eyes were watering, rattled off the final 3 plays in hockey, and no doubt they were all losers. Well, I think we pushed one there with Tampa Bay and VGK. I couldn't even get out a hockey package yesterday. We did have 1-1 on the hockey package, but I really couldn't get much done. I couldn't get much done in the other tournament either. Watched the games, though, in the NCAA tournament. We had a great time yesterday watching those games, and we did have some winners yesterday here, including on the show. I had Baylor and Duke game to go over. You guys had Duke yesterday to roll over Baylor. Great call by you guys there. Team Steam consensus. Late last night, just to mention again, I had the Oregon Ducks there to cover the spread, and they did in one of the best games of the tournament last night, with Arizona getting that win over Oregon. Team Steam consensus, you had the Kentucky Wildcats. I tailed with you, and I said, yes, you guys are right. Take the Wildcats over the Illini. They crushed them, sending a NCAA record 7 teams into the Sweet 16 is the SEC conference. Want to definitely call out one friend of mine, though. As I said, I was rolling with the SEC in this tournament. Do you guys know that? I've been saying it all along. I said it on a show last week over there at Nuke the House when I was with Sean Fox. And the SEC, of course, lost that first game. He sent me a DM. He said, SEC 0-1. Well, how about SEC 7 out of 16 teams? All 16 teams from 4 major conferences, putting a serious divide between the haves and have-nots in college basketball. There will be no Cinderella this season. All the teams are from major conferences. The Cinderellas had their chance, but were shot down, and the divide becomes greater thanks to NIL, for better or worse. this tournament needs expansion to get a Cinderella in there. The field is going to be too small because the big schools will continue to crush and the smaller schools will have to fend for themselves. So look, if that's the way we want it, that's fine, but you're going to have to bring in more teams to the tournament, try to get some, Cinderellas through. That's the way I see it. Also, we did have premium pick winner with Colorado State and Maryland game to go over. You guys had Colorado State to cover the spread against Maryland. Terrific job by you guys in that game yesterday as Colorado State hung in there, did a great job. They could have been the Cinderella, but it was Derek effing Queen, the freshman, with the travel. Was it a travel? If you listen to Gene Steratore, who's probably the top referee, officials, analyst right now. Remember, Gene Steratore is not only was a major college basketball referee, but he was also an NFL referee. So he's kind of the guy. And he made his statements perfectly clear yesterday when it came to what he said about Derek Queen's play, that is not a travel. When you do, and if you heard the term before, catch and gather, that's what Derek Queen did. So on the referee was standing right there. These are all good officials, right? Oh, some of you might say they suck. I know we're really pissed off about a delay every 30 seconds. People who want to get rid of the replay are not truth seekers. They just, want to get the game done or whatever. I say truth seekers are better than deniers. That's all. I'd say get it right. I'll say get it right every time. I'd say we want the correct call every time. Let's just try to do it a little quicker, please. All right. One more, though, of course, it was late last night. We had the winner here on the show with Michigan State over New Mexico, and we also had a premium pick winner there on the under. We also had a premium pick winner, Illinois and UK game to go under. And yeah, you guys had Michigan State as well. Team Steam consensus. Great job on that one. Say hello to some more folks. I'm really fired up today. And hopefully you guys start checking out those tweets by Sean Perry. Man, I got to go back to my tweet deck every 30 seconds here to see where our next comment is coming from. See if we can get some more. Maybe he went back to Betty Bye. All right, does sound like there's some type of, issue with this guy's a little bit loopy. All right, let's keep going here right now. And our Tom's, that's right, so you guys, I don't want to make it about me, but I was having a rough day there. But, like I said, I just got to bed, watched those two games, got up and did a show last night. So we got to be here a little bit. Abel won his West Coast parlay. Our Tom's here, thank you. And Thomas sets his phone on, and, I think it's apparent to everyone when I'm coming off a losing day, I'm not, necessarily yelling Las Vegas. And when I'm having a winning day, I come in here all fired up. It's a little bit by design to hear, you're a little bummed when you lose here, especially when you're a big, high rolling pick seller like me and Sean Perry. James Parham, hello. And look at what Terrell said here. It did go under there yesterday. Boy, I'm glad that I, when they're show picks, those are my least solid, I guess, was saying, but I whipped on the game between St. Mary's and Alabama for sure. Funny because I've been so pro SEC. That's why I'm having a decent run here in the brackets. But I want to shout out also our leaders in the bracket challenge right now, including William Cox and Algus. We're right back up there together again at the top. I've slipped down a little bit, but I'm tied for the lead here with the Sports Money crew. All you guys, Tom Moore up there, Garrett Marks, Stephanie Gallo as well, Troy Sanders, Kevin Woodman, Cam Sinnett in there, Bobby Max right there, Trisha M is there as well, Barry Roselle, my guy there, there with in the standings, Oscar Gonzalez, Brent Matthews, Joe W., Keith each and every stride. All right, let's see here. And let's see. Damon says that's not bad. Damon doesn't like the situation. I don't know if he is. Subhuman here. He doesn't like all that stuff. I do. Sub, maybe because I'm so lonely and you guys only come on the air with me once or twice a week, and I have to sit here waiting for my next appearance in prime time on the Sports Money Network with our one show or two shows. Those guys did a great job, though, actually, on Saturday night. If you missed it over the weekend, our man, Kevin Carrier, did taste defeat. We wish we could take it back. We wish we could. Oh, I wish we could give him the instructions that he needed here. We heard, I don't want to say who, but some of our crew, I'll just say that. I think I can say that without pinpointing anybody, but it did feel like here that the criticism was more towards the fact that the strategy was not effective for Carrier there on Saturday night. All right, let's see here. Thomas says he knows the way the line moves. And Abel says, "Yep, you don't do that. You wouldn't do that back in the day, right? That's how it would pretty much end. And you know what? It still may end up that way here. At least you'll be cut off from all your sports betting. Hey, one way to not have to make any $1 million bets is to piss everybody off and not take your $1 million bets." All right. Boy, we got some. Hope Sean doesn't see all these notes I'm putting on the screen. Bobby Mack is seeing it as well. Johnny Walker says, "I don't know why I'm watching this. Blue doesn't like him either." I think it's, hey, look, I'm just a whore looking for content out here, right? And so, all right. Hope you guys don't mind me having a little bit of fun this morning after a rough weekend here. And yeah, my brackets kind of collapsed a little bit there because I did put a Cinderella in the Sweet 16. But hey, we're still on top of the contest with you guys. I'm trying to earn me a little more sports money gear. It's more important than my regular bracket. All right. Teresa, nice to see you here today. Joe Alvarado, hello. Joe T loves the Circa. Why wouldn't you, right? And NYC Bar, hello. Jim Casey, nice to see you again there. Jim loves a game. Jim plays on the weekends. High stakes Connect 4. All right, that's cool, Jim. I like that saying there. Textiles says what maybe Benson was saying, that maybe could it be that Sean Perry is moving for Billy Walters? All right. Sports money is money, says Justin here. Trying to get Justin hooked at Justin. Hope everything's cool. Hope you're going to get enrolled there with the plays, the $1 million plays, Justin. I'm waiting on you. I'm looking for you to get signed up so I can turn you on. Justin, hit the parlay and he gets a lifetime subscription. So there, if you win the consensus parlay and you were Justin, you got to have the clout though, like Justin. Here, you all have the clout here, like Justin with me. Eventually, you'll all be getting my free subscription too, and then we'll make all the plays free and we'll bet the $1 million. All right, Fernando, right? Fix the team, Mr. President. But Blue says the MLS president. All right. Fernando there. Abel was eating carne asada while watching Mexico last night. Good game. Panama came back to tie it there in the first half, and Mexico wins 2-1. Dimitri, is he talking about, he laid it the good number with Arizona? Okay. We already have those Sweet 16 lines out. If you haven't checked them out already, I think we could run them down here. Look, we don't have a lot of games, so I'm kind of glad about that too, right? I could kind of get down with the show here today quickly, but take a look at some of these lines here for this week. On Thursday, you've got Alabama 4.5 over BYU 175. We know the games are going under right now. About, I think, what is it? let's see, we've had what have we had so far? 16, 32, 48 games. I think it's only 6 or 7 games over 500 for the unders. But right now, it's also massive first half unders, but second half is over City, actually. Florida minus 6.5 against Maryland, 155. Derek Queen said, "Hey, coach gets us paid. That's why we like him." Duke minus 9 over Arizona, 153.5. That has old school Final Four written all over it. Texas Tech 5.5 over Arkansas in a Southwest battle there. Southwest teams anyway located on Friday. On Friday here, Michigan State 3 over Mississippi, 143.5. Mississippi, I don't think any of these SEC teams are Cinderellas. I guess if you had to pick one team to kind of be, would it be probably, I don't know who it is, you guys, with all 4 major conferences. Just hard to say if there's any kind of outsider in this group, right? Tennessee, 4.5 over Kentucky. Talk about an SEC game in the Sweet 16 there right now. Auburn minus 8 over Michigan. Maybe it's Michigan. Maybe it's Michigan is a team we can latch on. Maybe it's Purdue. Houston 7.5 over Purdue, 132.5. All right, there we go. Let's take a look at a few more comments here. And Abel had that under there as well. All right. Terrell doesn't. He wants the big boys. Maybe, I think Terrell, that's a standalone opinion, not standalone, but a contrarian opinion, right? I think people like a little Cinderella in there, but Terrell wants the best. So, hey, this is working out. And like I said pre-tournament, I am all about the SEC, and it's pulled it off here. You guys are saying it was a travel. Look, you can slow it down a million times. The man definitely took 3 steps after his dribble. But again, what they call it, right? What was the term that Sterator and other officials that have chimed in? They call it the gather. They call it the gather when you make your shot play, right? The foot leap, after the gather. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm not an official, although I've done rec softball officiating. Oh, and I've done also a little league officiating when I was a kid. I was one of those 16-year-old guys that thought I'd just put on the big, you had a big chest protector. Remember the old bubble chest protector? You'd never get hit. And umpiring for the little kids in the Caps League. All right, let's see here. Right, nobody noticed it, right? That's how. Remember what I said about Derek Queen? Was it yesterday on the show and also on over there across the street? I said, Derek Queen, he is beautifully awkward. He's only a freshman, you guys. Believe it or not, that man here, I believe he was the MVP of maybe not the McDonald's All-American, maybe it was a McDonald's All-American game. Justin, right, Justin? How come how come you can't challenge that, right? How come you can't challenge a play like that? That's another interesting thing there. Doubles says, yeah, I mean, these guys were having some rough games, right? It seemed like. All right. And if anybody texts, right, if you watch that other fight, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm 57 years old. I don't think that, this is how you settle it anyways. You fight, and that's how you determine who's a better sports bettor. All right. Timmy Two Shoe, hello. Nice to see you. And you guys probably ready to start the show, but I'm having when you feel good, when you're feeling better. I still need another nap, I'm sure. I'm not over it yet, but Doubles talking about it there, and also doubles. I'll go back to even probably for me. I watched the UC San Diego Michigan game, and if you look at the way the games later on were officiated, why weren't those calls there for UCSD? They got jobbed a little bit. Kelly's here. Hello. Nice to see Kelly today. Oh my gosh, I know Kelly. It's hard. I haven't seen you here. I know you've been uh, 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 busy probably, but I'm so glad you're here today. All right. And if that, right, Jim says the Euro step should even be banned. In the future, they'll probably just change it to 4 steps because that's what we do in sports now. We just change the rule and what everybody's doing. All right. Here, let's see. Justin, you are full of clout, my friend. All right, I think I'm all caught up. Thank you, everybody. We got a great crowd here already on a Monday. And, oh, Kelly, that's great. I mean, I wouldn't watch myself on replay. But hey, everyone, you can get my plays for today. The plays that I was going to bet $1 million, but I thought I'd sell them to you guys for 56 cents over at winnable.com. /Ramon. You can get my best plays for today. Hey, I'm going to give out a bunch of free winners here in just short order on the basketball, including that noon start, 9 a.m. start in the game that we're all waiting for here between Incarnate Word and Jacksonville. We'll also have some of those hot women's selections. We did pretty well. Well, we got one right on the show. We were 1 and 2. We had that under in Oregon and Duke, and I think we split the premiums there as well, or the VIP plays over the free subscriptions yesterday. Oklahoma State and SMU game over. This is women's action now. We had the winner there. Loyola Chicago USF game to go over. We had the winner there. Manhattan and Incarnate Word, we had the winner there as well. So we were a little bit mixed there, but we did have there. Oh, I'm sorry, that was I'm sorry, that was CBI and NIT. We did have there on the show yesterday with Holden. We had some good winners there in the women's action, including a late game over there. So sorry about that. But anyways, catch my plays over at winnable.com. This is where I'm going to send out today my, I believe the women's subscription, the women's plays will come out on the free subscription. And I believe the others we might just give out here. There's only the 3 college games, and they're all in daytime action here, or at least early action, starting with that Incarnate Word and Jacksonville game. We'll get you the winner here, hopefully. Over at winnable.com /Ramon. And there we go. Let me get back to the screen here. Thank you. You can get the plays there at winnable.com /Ramon and use the promo code STEAM to save 20%, or you could win the consensus parlay and I'll set you up for life like Justin got. For better or worse, Justin, you're going to get the plays until you delete me from your app. All right, we can get started here. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. All the other shows across the street have fired up, so why not us here and get ready for the actual start here with the NBA. We'll wait for those college games a little bit, right up to the end here, and we'll be off the air an hour before they go here. But let's go. Was going to do my little winnable thing with showing the phone and everything, but let's see here. Just having a little technical difficulty with my phone there a little bit. Anyways, it comes across like this, and you get the plays up here. I had some plays in Chinese basketball last night. I don't think they were that great there, actually. I just saw a loser come in, but I tried there a little bit with the plays last night over in the CBA. Like I said, got in the middle of the night a little bit, was feeling a little bit parched, and was tired of drinking water, and we can kind of go get a slushy, and it tasted pretty good. 'All right, you guys, let's go.
Steam playing.
Terrell, timeout, Terrell, right? All right. Game just ended between Equatorial Guinea and Namibia. When you're looking for sports, you'll watch anything. Let's go, you guys. Get started with the show. Raptors. And hey, look, we'd skip this one if there was a billion games, but we're going to be desperate for some plays here today. So we'll talk Wizards and Raptors. Why not? Hey, the Raptors aren't exactly out of it yet. They're not, they're in it. I mean, they are in the playoffs. If it started they're just outside the playoff bubble, but I mean, they are probably the last team outside the bubble right now. They're in 11th place behind Miami by 6 whole games, so they're probably not going to get there, but I'm going to preview them all. The Wizards have been eliminated from playoff contention coming into this one. The Wizards are a pick 'em here at this point. I think they've actually, let's take a look at the current line here. Yeah, the Wizards have moved to a favorite here today, even though you'd think that Toronto, like I said, they're the team that has something to play for, but the writing's probably on the wall here at this point for all the teams. The playoff teams are probably settled in the Eastern Conference, barring a massive rally, it feels like, by some team outside of the play-in bubble a little bit, is the way it feels right now. So let's see here what we have with the Raptors and the Wizards today. Raptors actually open the favorite. I believe both teams come in riding 4-game losing streaks. Toronto lost to San Antonio last time out. They did not cover. They got blown out by 33 points. Washington lost by 19 to the Knicks. Toronto's actually gone 2-2 against the spread in those 4 games, while Washington has failed to cover in all 4 of those losses. So we got to, we need some games. We're going to talk about them all and see if you guys want me to move on to the next game, just let me know. Here with these two, the Raptors are clearly the better spread team this season. They're 34-23 as an underdog, which they are now, but usually they're getting plenty more points. Washington's record as a favorite this year against the spread, 0-1. They did win the game. They failed to cover in that game, but I don't know if they're going to win here. They're going to be favored, or they're going to win. Probably doesn't need to worry about the spread too much. I guess it could land on 1. Anything, you guys? I'm going to make a pick in this game. Probably won't make the premiums. Thomas is on Toronto here. Ziggy's on the Raptors here. Blue on the Raptors. It might be a consensus play, but I'm going to go against you. I'm taking the Wizards here. Like I said, I think the Raptors are done. Look, Wizards are terrible. This is a terrible game. Probably just going to take the home team that's on the move, right? Why are the Wizards the team that the bookmakers are making the adjustment on here? You've got Boucher, he is questionable. Podol, questionable. Quickly, questionable. Grady Dick is out. Hate when Dick is out. And for the Wizards, Brogdon will miss this game. Good morning to Twisted. Billy Ho here. How about our man Billy Ho yesterday with the golf tournament with the left-handed shot from 120 yards out to put it on the green because he was next to the tree, and then was able to make the putt. That was really talented. Our man Billy Ho there at the golf tournament yesterday. Bobby Mack likes C over here. Says, you know what? When you got crappy teams, just stick to the total. Right, Bob? All right. Thank you, Kelly. This is why I miss Kelly in the live chat, giving us some great numbers here. And Kelly sees it the way I do here. And look, you don't hold your nose on one. This is the one. This is it. This is the one we want to take Washington. I'll probably take him on the money line just to show a little. We'll see. Maybe Sean Perry has moved the line there on Washington. All right. Here, Terrell also with those stats there a little bit. There he goes. He had it right there. All right, I'm on Washington. I mean, we're not going to bet $1 million on this one. Is that what I bet $1 million every game? I don't care if it's 2 teams out of the playoff. That's not a sharp. I don't think that's a sharp. I don't think that's how sharps do it. So I'll say right now, that's not a whale is not a shark. All right. I'm out of sports here all of a sudden with that soccer game ending. Wizards team total unders, one more play from blue. Lotto dee da die. Lakers and the Madge here in this one. Now we're talking Lakers here on the road. Favored by 4.5 or so. Maybe it's going up a little bit. We've got steam right now here. Also, I didn't break the news necessarily, but we did see, I just want to say it real quick, and I'll read this steam off. But the Iowa Hawkeyes did go after their next head coach. It will be Ben McCollum here. McCollum, the Drake coach moving to the University of Iowa. This one probably broke within the last few minutes. We were just getting ready here on the show as Iowa names Drake's Ben McCollum. Was one of the worst kept secrets here. It felt like over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken, that McCollum becomes the next head coach after the incredible job he did with the Drake Bulldogs in just a season. But he was born in Iowa City, so it just made sense. Remember, he won 4 national championships at Northwest Missouri State. So McCollum is your man here. He's got a overall record of 426-95 in his career between the divisions. So McCollum became the coach. Okay, here we go. The steam is in the first game of the day right now, moving the line here with Incarnate Word and Jacksonville. We are getting the steam rolling in here on the over. I'm sorry, let me get this right. Oh, let me get them all right. They're all rolling in here. They are all rolling in here right now. We're going the late game, actually. This is the one that is the newest. Queens College, Cleveland State, steam to the over here, of course. And this one, the NIT with Queens and Cleveland State, it was an opener of 145-ish, right? 145 and a half. We're up to 147 here right now with Queens College and Cleveland State. Thomas, in the CBI, that one's at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific, the third game of the day in the quarterfinals. Bracket's a little goofy out there. Also, just moments ago in that first game coming up, steam in on Incarnate Word and Jacksonville. The steam came in on the over. It was as low as an opener of 139.5. We're up to 142.5. Big time steam here in this one between Incarnate Word. You're not fully Word unless you're Incarnate Word against Jacksonville. That one's at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. That's our Monday daytime basketball that we're looking for from the minor tournaments. And they could never get the CIT tournament going again this year, right? They finally got it back up and running last year, but the funny thing is not enough teams want to play. The purses aren't big enough. It's an expense for the schools. Some of the schools are, possibly paying money to get in some of those tournaments that, were going on. So it's just not worth it to them and doesn't make any sense because TV dictates this. You'd think they'd be able to get those tournaments going, but you know what? Maybe the kids too, they're just ready to wrap it up, I guess. So, all right. And let's move on here. I like that over. Let me just give it out right now. I like the over in the game between Incarnate Word and Jacksonville. I guess I got to say it right now because the line might continue to move. So my play here on the morning steam is on the over in the Incarnate Word and Jacksonville game coming up at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm going over in that one. All right, we're back on the Lakers game here real quick. And your comments, you guys are probably already commenting in here right now. So the steam is just rolling in here on other games that aren't of total interest, I don't think, to people. Awesome overseas action and stuff like that. Don't panic. Okay, Lakers here and the Magic. Yeah, the Lakers are coming off that dismal performance against the Denver Nuggets, right? They are the type of team that LeBron gets back in there and all of a sudden the team goes haywire, like they got to figure out how to play again. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe you guys can tell me with that. Other than, just to make it clear, um, like anybody could chime in and tell me what happened, except for Jim. Jim Casey. He'll tell us what happened with that Bulls game, I'm sure. All right. Orlando, they have lost 9 straight games when coming off of a road win. They've also dropped the spread in 6 straight games at home. The Lakers are coming off a 31-point home loss after losing to Milwaukee by 30 points. This might be a get-right spot here, if you know what I mean, between the Lakers and the Magic. Maybe you might be throwing up caution to the wind here with this Lakers team. Maybe they totally broken. All of a sudden, it's not going to work out, but well, if they got both the guys in there and they're coming off this embarrassing situation. LeBron is on the injury report, but he is probable today. Hachimura is questionable. I'm not sure Hachimura will make this, but it's not out of the question. Orlando, Cole Anthony questionable, and in this game. So let me go to the chat here, though, real quick. Lakers 23-18 against the spread as a favorite. Orlando 12-19 against the spread as an underdog. Let's go, chat. And let's see what you have here. All right. Oh, I missed that one there. And that's thank you, Jermaine. Nice to see you there making some plays. And Tex says, how about Clay last? I don't know. Tex, I mean, I thought I was the hippest guy in social media, following social media. I missed that one. I got to find that. Lakers for Ziggy. Abel says the Lakers smash here. Might be too easy, right? I might have to, if the consensus comes in, I might have to default to the total here. We don't want to give away the premiums necessarily, huh? But I don't mind. Let me see here. What else? Lakers and under here for Thomas. And Kelly says they do pretty well down there. And also, here's Kelly says that's good enough for her to take the Lakers here today. Play. Lakers have won 4 of the last 5 meetings coming into this one. There's Twisted's plays. Thank you, Twisted. Thomas says the Lakers here are a consensus play in this matchup. Let me look on the surface. I'll go ahead and mark that down. Lakers consensus. And, you know what? I'll agree. I'll go with it. Oh, man, I kind of want to use the Lakers as a premium, but hey, you guys are – consensus is hot. So I'll take the Lakers. Is that okay? And we don't have a lot of games. I need to maybe – totals, I'm pretty solid on this total too, but I'll just roll with Team Steam consensus if you don't mind. West Up says there's the plays. USC tonight laying those points against Mississippi State in women's action. Remember what I said about the women? I've got 2 plays to win it all. And they were USC and USC. USC West Coast, USC East Coast. But UCLA did a pretty good job last night. Remember, UCLA did a good job against USC in the regular season. Those were just my futures plays. Were the 2 USCs. I think UCLA is talk about those high seeds there. They look pretty good. They struggled against Richmond early last night, but got it together. They still didn't cover the spread. They covered the early spread, but they didn't cover the closing spread. Talking about the UCLA Bruins women's basketball team, but they have some great talent. Roberts on the over here in this one. Like I said, these 2 teams you might think under a little bit. Orlando 14-21 to the under at home, but maybe the teams are trending over just enough here of late. Orlando has covered 4 out of the last 5, but Lakers have won 7 of the last 9 meetings between the 2. Orlando has covered 4 out of the last 5 meetings as well. There's Jermaine back on that other there. And Joe T, hello. He's got his action here. I'll leave it up there for a second here in the NBA segment. But Joe here wants to get his hockey plays because he's got to work here. He's working. Here is blue on the Lakers and NYC VAR, liking the Lakers as well. And Thomas still lamenting the trade. So, Mark Cuban was interviewed here over the last couple of days and talked about how shocked he was about the trade and that he was basically told hands off. Remember, I came on and said that maybe the trade had Cuban's fingerprints on it, but that wasn't the case. Cuban looked at his phone, looked at the trade on his phone like he looked at the phone when we all canceled the season in COVID. I think is the jaw drop. All right. Let's see here. Twisted talking BYU. What's BYU doing today? What's BYU doing? They're not in the women's tournament anymore, are they? Is it tomorrow? Okay, maybe I'm missing something there. Is Arkansas also? No, maybe I'm on the wrong day. I have the right games here, right? In the women's basketball. What am I missing here? I'm going to go on here. Okay, Abel. Let's get Abel's plays in here. Thank you. Toucan, hello. Nice to see you there today. Thank you. I'm glad I'm looking. I'm not, Twisted was looking ahead. Those are picks for the NCAA tournament. I should have realized that. BYU, Oregon. Come on. I should have realized that. Sorry, brother. I don't mean to call you. I wasn't calling you out. I had my women's schedule up, and okay, that's it for that one. I'll just take the Lakers with you guys. Let's keep moving on here right now and go to the Timberwolves and the Pacers here with the Pacers favored here in this one by 2. The total 231.5 here with these two. You got Minnesota. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. They've also covered 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two. Indiana's won 5 straight games at home right now. You look at these two teams with similar records. Pretty interesting matchup, actually. The Pacers have won 4 straight. Minnesota's actually lost 2 of their last 3 games, losing to New Orleans and to this Indiana team. They played back on March 17th. It was 132 to 130 in that one. The Pacers snapped that losing streak. It had been 6 in a row by the Wolves, but the Pacers were able to get the win on the road. So does Minnesota turn the tables on Indiana here this week? Can they find it here? Because remember, the Pacers, even though they've won 4 straight, they didn't cover the spread in the last 3 games. In fact, the Pacers are just 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, Minnesota is 11-6-1 as an underdog this season, and the Pacers are 17-23 as a favorite. But Pacers just playing a little bit better, at least winning games here of late. So let's see what you got. Minnesota has won 4 straight games on the road. So it's a very interesting contrast here in this one. Indiana's also gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home, but Minnesota's a over team for sure. I mean, they're 11-7 as an underdog to the over this season, but Indiana 18-24 to the under as a favorite. Let's go to the chat on this one and see what you've got between Minnesota and Indiana. Good ball game here today. And all right. Here we go. Yeah, Terrell, that's right. But remember, so the last, I was basing my premise on the fact that Cuban had said, hey, he still is going to retain some control of the team or be an advisor to the team, but they kind of just shushed him out a little bit, even though he still does have that smaller stake. And that's what he admitted. He said the new owner was like, in Nico we trust. Uh-oh. That's got to be really frustrating for an owner that was as popular as Cuban. Yeah, so he's some people not his cup of tea. I like Mark Cuban, but Ziggy says the Bulls are taking some action here in the NBA today. They say they got steam there from 4 down to 2.5 there, and we know the Nuggets have had some personnel issues. We'll catch up on those in just a moment. Abel likes the over here in this one. Blue says over here with these. And Jimmy says Timberwolves money line here in this one. Ziggy's on the Pacers, however. Thomas likes the over here. And I'm continuing on here. Thank you, guys.
Steam play.
Timmy's got this as a rivalry game. Maybe as the proximity of the two teams, right? Maybe that's what Timmy's saying. But remember, these teams meet just twice a year. One's in the Eastern Conference. One's in the Western Conference. Hey, oldie, hello. Thank you. Robert's on the pace here. And he's also on the over. The Terrell on Minnesota money line says they're just getting it together here right now. Okay, I kind of buy into that here a little bit. But I'm going to end up here on the over in this one between Minnesota and Indiana here tonight. You know, it's about time we got to start looking at every game and where every team stands, because you look at it here now, not relating it to last night, because obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder are very serious still. They didn't cover the spread. Remember, they did get that win over the Clippers. The Thunder have clinched the Western Conference, but they haven't clinched the home court just yet over the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there's still something to play for there. They hold the lead over the Cavaliers a little bit. Maybe they want it all. Make sure that, hey, look, they know that even though they have that best record, right? And Denver, they're 14.5 games back of them, but nobody's going to tell you or me, I don't know, maybe you guys are all big Thunder fans, right? An inexperienced playoff team going up against a team like the Denver Nuggets and their type of personnel with Jokic. You know, you can probably just erase the regular season records if they eventually meet up somewhere in the playoffs a little bit, it feels like, because of Jokic, the difference maker. So you better have that home court edge. Irish King says Minnesota money line as well. Abel's back on that Orlando game a little bit. Justin likes the Wolves here in this one. And Thomas says the Pacers over is a consensus play. So I'm on it. You're on it. Man, I'm not an independent thinker here. I'm just going with the chat. I don't mind that. Dimitri likes Minnesota and the over. And Blue. Okay, I think let's move on to the next one. The Mavericks are taking on the Nets. I think these two teams once play in NBA Finals? The Mavericks and the Nets back in the day. This is like the Jason Kidd special, isn't it? In this matchup, back in the, or wasn't that back in the day? Man, that must have been 15 years ago. When was that, you guys? The Mavericks played the Nets in the NBA. I'm old. All right, here we go. Mavericks taking on the Nets here in this one. You got the Nets favored. Nets are favored now by 1.5. Hello. Oh, there we go. The Nets are favored by 1.5, and the total here is 218. Here in this one. Okay, there we go. All right. For Dallas, they're still under 500 here right now. The Nets are, pretty bad too. They're not going to the playoffs here right now. And for the Mavs coming into this one, they need to keep winning. They have the motivation. The Nets don't. The Mavericks right now are just outside the play-in bubble. They have the same record as Phoenix, but I believe the tiebreaker is owned by Phoenix currently. Dallas tied for that last playoff spot. I think the season ended, they would be out, but it'll still shake out a little bit here right now as Dallas has the motivation to go to the playoffs, but they finally snapped that losing streak last time out to Detroit, 123-117. They got the win and the cover there in that one. They've had some time off here as they've had that awkward schedule. They played a road trip. They came back home to play Philly. Then they went on the road to Indiana, then back home to play Detroit, and now back on the road. So a little bit of an awkward schedule here for Dallas. Maybe that's part of it. The Nets, they're only the hottest team in the NBA. If you like covering the spread, they've lost 3 straight, but man, they are on a cover streak like nobody's business here right now. And this series has kind of been home dominated, despite the fact that Dallas wins every game. The Nets have usually covered as a dog at home, but that's not the case here right now. Dallas has gone over in 7 straight games and 8 of their last 10. They've gone 27-15 to the over as a dog, 23-12 to the over on the road, but you're playing the Brooklyn Nets, and the Brooklyn Nets specialty is they're, a serviceable defensive team. I mean, this is why, and they don't have big scoring too. We know that's why they get stuck in a lot of these low scoring games, but it looks like we've just maybe been bumped off of X. Maybe Sean Perry got us kicked off or something here, but if you're on X, I'd love to hear from you right now. If anybody could chime in the chat. All right, let's get into this one. Dallas has won 5 straight meetings between the two teams, but like I said, they don't cover every time. In fact, the Nets are 3-2 against the spread in those 5 games, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what you guys have in this one between Dallas and Brooklyn. Brooklyn's covered 5 in a row right now. They've also gone over in 5 straight at home. Let's go to the chat here. Dallas and Brooklyn. And see what you guys have here. Hey, not the best schedule, but we'll take it. I don't like to be that guy. Oh, I hate this card. I like this, but it is what it is. Okay, here we go. We've got some more comments here. Oh, thanks, DB Gnarly. Yeah, we had a good time over there last night with the guys. Hey, I'm looking for opportunities. We don't have shows every night here. We'd like to, but look, it's hard to round up people to do shows. That's just the way it is. Everyone thinks it's very, very easy to do shows, but like I always kid with Mikey, everybody wants to do content until it's time to do some content. All right, here's Justin. He likes the over here in this one. And, oh, Terrell, that's right. Yes, that's right. Abel's on the over there. Blue says Nets team total over. Thomas is, what is he saying? He's already on Phoenix down there. I think he's saying speed it up, Ramon. All right. Timmy says the Mavs trying to prove the Mavs. Maybe they are, but they're struggling. I think that's the case. I think that's why we've seen them move here to the Nets to a favorite, because the Mavs are actually struggling. Now, they did get that win against Detroit. That was a good sign for them. Nets money line here for Ziggy. And Billy Ho here, I think he's got some plays here in this one. Yeah, and look, Kelly says this has been a dominant series between the two teams in their first meeting of the season. So they're going to meet up twice here soon. Blue says Nets team total over. Kelly says Dallas might have been out there partying. She was so great at those look aheads too. NYC Bar likes Dallas. Robert likes Dallas here in this one. Texas got a prop there. Okay. Thomas is on Dallas. A lot of Dallas support here, though. Oh, thank you for checking, Ziggy. Might be back on track here all of a sudden, though. Checking that for me. Thank you, Ziggy, for checking that. the thing tells you when it goes off, and then it tells you when it comes back on. So I guess maybe it's back on. Maybe Mr. Musk is busy there. Okay, Dallas, another consensus play here. You guys are on Dallas, so I better move to the total in this one, if you know what I mean. I'll take the over here with Dallas and Brooklyn. You guys have been hot, and every time I've faded the chat, you guys have been right. So I'll go with the total over here. I think this awkward schedule, some of what Kelly mentioned as well. Remember what I just said. Dallas went from road trip, home for a game, road for a game, and then home for a game, and now back on an East Coast road trip. That is difficult. No matter who you are, man. Who here spends a lot of time in airplanes? I'm afraid to fly. Not afraid of crashing. I'm just afraid to, somebody's going to want to fight on a plane about being the best sports bettor in the world. Okay, that's it for that one. 76ers and Pels here in this one. Like I said, this is a weak schedule today, but we're desperate for action. Tone your bets down a little bit here with the Sixers and the the Pelicans. Sixers have lost 4 straight games. Coming into this one, Pelicans have lost 2 straight. They did get the money against Detroit last time out. I had a loser there. Philadelphia not only has lost 4 straight, they've failed to cover in 3 straight games coming in to this one. New Orleans has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games at home, which, they've been an over team kind of most of the year. We know Philly's a big-time over team. They've gone over in 9 of their last 10 overall. They're 29-17 to the over as an underdog, 24-12 to the over on the road. They're a big-time over team because they got no D coming in. So 5 of the last 6 meetings between the 2 teams have gone over. They only meet twice a year, though. Remember, these are East-West opponents, of course. Philadelphia has lost 8 straight games on the road when coming in off of a road loss. Let's see what you've got here in this one. Philadelphia on the road at New Orleans tonight. Current line is New Orleans -6, and the total 232. Let's update that line on the screen. There we go, and see what you guys got. We'll go to the chat. We're only on game number 5 here. All right. Here we go with Twisted's never been on a plane. Okay, here's Abel's on the over here in this one. Ziggy likes the Sixers against the spread. Blue hates this game. I don't know if he's talking about the Sixers and the Pelicans, or are we just talking about basketball in general. Terrell said, John Madden never flew in a plane. Well, he did, but by the time he could control his own destiny, he was done with planes, right? That would be a great thing to do, travel by bus to all those sites, a nice luxury bus. Justin's got the over here in this one. Pardon me, you guys. Robert's on Philly. Our Tomp's on Philly here to get this money. Probably should take a look at the personnel situation a little bit here with these bad teams and see what's going on. Maxey is questionable. So Maxey might make this lineup, though. Oubre, questionable. Drummond, questionable here in this one. We know PG is out, of course. Zion, questionable here. So, bad teams. What are you going to do, right? Thomas likes Philly. Look at Thomas has just seen another consensus here play with Philadelphia. Man, you guys are going big time on this awful card. Okay. Oh, I just did it again. Don't let me do that. All the cards are great. Come on. Here's Robert on the over here in this one. Man, you guys got a premium here. I mean, a consensus play on the Sixers here in this one. All right. I mean, I kind of agree, but I'm gonna I'm gonna take the over here as my play between Philadelphia and New Orleans. Give me the over tonight. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the next one now, and the Bulls and the Nuggets. Well, where's Jim? You in? Jim Casey? Jim Casey, please report to the chat. The Bulls come in with a 2-game winning streak here. They had that win last time out against the Lakers by 31 points as a 10.5-point dog. They also beat the Kings. And there's no doubt the Bulls, we've kind of said it as they've kind of approached this situation. They are playing better. They're getting some players back here. They're obviously going to make the play-in here this season, so maybe they can move up a couple of notches. They're kind of down there with Miami in 9th and 10th place, but they're probably not going to fall out of it the way they're playing right now. They can look to move up. They've covered 8 out of the last 10 overall. Denver's actually gone 3-7 against the spread, but you look at the line here, just and in fact, because what Ziggy said, let's update it. A move has clearly been on the Bulls here. We've got to see what happens today with Nikola Jokic. He is questionable. He's missed some time here. And the other thing is with the, Denver Nuggets currently, I don't think that, some people are talking about, hey, the Denver, they got to start winning now. I don't think Denver, you want to be in as best position as you can. I don't think Denver, kind of like when we talked about some of these, right, they're not as concerned about the home court advantage as other teams might be, right? Oklahoma City's going to need that home court edge. Even with this great record that they have, they're going to want it over the Nuggets. I don't think the Nuggets now, especially given the fact where we are in the standings and everything, are going to be too concerned with where they fit. They're going to be in there, whether it's second, third, fourth, hopefully not fifth. These are the Denver Nuggets. I think they can keep themselves distance from a team like the Memphis Grizzlies, but maybe the Rockets, Nuggets, and the Lakers keep moving up because of their granted, they lost that one. So let's see what you got here between the Bulls and the Nuggets. Get that line on the screen. I think 3 is a good number here right now for this game. 239, 238.5. Here in this one, the Nuggets are 22-12 to the over at home this season. The Bulls are 32-22 to the over as an underdog. A big total here, of course, between these two. Not only is it a big high total with two teams that kind of trend over, the Bulls actually they trend over when they are a road dog. As a home favorite, they kind of go under. But 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams in Denver have gone over. And we've seen some Bulls with some crazy scores offensively and defensively, right? Yeah, you might say they only go to Denver once a year, but maybe because of the fact that it is Denver, right? And the fact that Denver usually crushes these guys, maybe that's why it goes over a little bit when these two teams meet. They did meet back in January in Chicago. It was 129-121. The Bulls won the game as a 9.5-point home dog. So Chicago hot here against the spread for sure. Denver's actually lost 7 of their last 8 games when coming off of a win. Lost the games. 7 of their last 8 when coming off of a win. And Denver also has failed to cover in 7 straight games at home. Let's go to the chat. Chicago and Denver. All right, chat, here we go. If anything, I'm just a little slow with my brain. That's been the toughest part for me, actually, is trying to do my job of, you guys so generous with let me get this steam out real quick. It's going against me and you, the consensus play, Minnesota and Indiana, getting steamed right now to the under. We said go over, but right now it's going to go down. We were talking, 230, 231 back there. It's down to 229.5 right now here at the Stations Casino in Las Vegas. And the Screen has lit up red. Bovada down to 229.5. Steam to the under. Minnesota and Indiana right now. We went over. Save it. Hold on. Don't bet. We'll just wait a little bit. Get that best number. Okay, so let's see what you got here with this one between Chicago and Denver. When I'm singing the plays, I got to be feeling better, right? NYC Bar says Zion might not play in that game. Yeah, he should. He should really wrap it up for the season, right? I mean, you want to hope this guy's got career left, got something left in the tank. It's going to be a disappointing career. Art Thompson's on the Nuggets here. I think Timmy says, what's up with that total? It's weird. A Nuggets money line here for Ziggy. Thomas is on the over. The NYC Bar says Nuggets might end up being a consensus here. Abel says, if Joker's in, I want the Nuggets. So Abel will have to wait here. Now, here's the thing. You have to determine it right here. You could take a position right now and say, hey, I think he will be in and lay 3.5. If you wait to find out the Joker's playing, then you're going to be dealing with a line that's going to be closer to, probably today, just maybe 5. But still, okay. I don't know what all that is. Robert's on the Nuggets here. Billy Ho's got Gordon over in his prop. Robert's on the over here. Dimitri says they're probably going to go over again. And maybe under for blue. Abel over. And look at this. Thomas says you guys are all over Denver. All right. Well, if you guys are on Denver, I'm going to have to pivot here to the total. I've got the over. I'll take the over here in this one. All right, you guys. Another one. Remember the other day I said, if the chat wins these games, I'm going to have a bad day. And I didn't have a great day. The chat got it again. Oh, Gorky, hello. They're about ready to fire it up in Miami. Let me get to Gorky's play here and do my tennis coverage, at least for the day. Couldn't even get any tennis plays out because great matches. Let me get to these here. Bulls money line and over. Justin likes the Nuggets. He's already got it on the over. And Timmy, he says that the total looks funny because it's not high enough, right? Oh, man, I like this as a premium, but I'm going to have to go with the over as my play. You guys like Denver here in this one. And Gorky also talking great soccer action. Remember, these World Cup qualifiers are going off here all afternoon here in Europe, in Africa. And he's got a little parlay here, I think, with Finland in their matchup against Lithuania. And he's also going to add Jeffrey Nadu's favorite team, Albania, over Andorra. Now, Albania is a $5 favorite. And also there's his tennis. So, hey, I already sent Jeff a message. I already sent Jeff M a message. Jeff M, our man here at Sports Money. I said, Jeff, our two favorite players are going to battle here today at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific. Unfortunately, Jeff's favorite player is minus 550. First of all, let me just get this out here with Gorky's plays. Naomi Osaka here, $1.50 favorite over Jasmine Paolini in that one. He likes Osaka to win in Miami. And Qinwen Zhang also over Ashlyn Kruger. Qinwen Zhang, you get a big discount on Qinwen Zhang today. She opened $2.40 down to $1.80 here. Also, the line has moved in Paolini's favor in the match against Osaka here. But great action last night in some of the tennis. If anyone saw yesterday, Madison Keys lost as a minus 1,800 favorite to, the greatest female tennis player in the history of Filipino tennis, Alexandria Yala. She's just a teenager, you guys. Alexandria Yala, just terrific last night. She was crying, I was crying. That was awesome. I love that match last night for Iala. The way she held that microphone at the end there was really cool. And there's some great tennis action, though, today. Just want to mention out at Miami, we're narrowing down the field here. Some closely rated matches today include Arthur Fees and Francis Tiafoe, a closely rated matchup. Highlighted by the late match here also. ADM is going to be taking on João Fonseca here also, who was able to advance. So good action on the men's side. Women's side, matches aren't so close. I think those two matches are probably the closest also. Anisimova, who also scored an upset yesterday to advance. She'll be taking on Emma Raducanu today as a favorite. So Anisimova has looked really good today as well. Jessie Pegula in action. Coco Gauff, huge favorite. And Paula Badosa will be taking on Alexandria Iala late this afternoon. And Iala's plus $2. She's never, basically had not won a. This is her high point of her career, and right now, boy, could she really do something here. She can beat Badosa, man. She's on fire, but the emotion of that victory yesterday over Keys may be a little bit too much. It's going to be awesome, though. All right. Thanks, Gorky. He's also got Wales tomorrow. All right. Oh, he says going up. Oh, interesting. Okay, here you go, you guys. Kelly also talking about that total there. A big move there is what Kelly says on the game between. I never saw a 240. Are we talking about the same game, Kelly? I never saw 247, but maybe I'm missing something there. All right. All right. Oh, Kelly, I don't. The one thing we do disagree on is this: I try to speculate and move and make my bet before, right? Yeah, we're not going to unload, but again, I'm not really ever unloading anyway. All my bets are kind of the same price, so I'm kind of playing the spots too a little bit. So I'm never going to be the one that waits for the injury reports. I just can't. Now, granted, when I send out the premiums, sometimes I have to do that because it's kind of tough to send out a premium and then make someone say, hey, take it now anyways. So maybe I guess I can agree with a little bit of that. But again, that's why I'm here to try to. But good. That's right, Gorky. That's right. All right. Oh, thank you. Okay, I understand. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Bone Piece. Give it one for the old guys. Tex loves his tennis too. I'm glad. I love tennis. I should send out more tennis. I end up just betting it because I don't know if anybody bets it as but I know that's part of my package and I need to be better about it. But thanks, you guys. We're almost done with the NBA. Can you believe I've taken this long? Sorry to keep on yapping here, but hopefully you're here to hear me talk a little bit. Bucks and Suns here. I took the over in that Chicago game, by the way. Bucks and the Suns here in this one. These guys might have played in a championship way back in the day. Here we've got the Suns favored in this one. Or no, they trying to think now. I don't know if they did. Okay, the Suns here have won 3 straight. The Bucks have won 2 straight coming in. Suns with wins coming in over Cleveland, Chicago, and Toronto. Covered them all, including that upset of the Cavs at home, 123-112 3 nights ago for Milwaukee. They've won and covered 2 straight. This is the 4th game of the road trip. We know the Suns are pretty bad at covering the spread, but the Bucks aren't any great shakes either. I think if you had to look at the schedule today and look at the injuries here, you've got, let's see, Plumlee probable here. Grayson Allen is probable. We know Bradley Beal's been out. Giannis is probable here in this one, and we're still on the Bobby Portis watch, by the way. What, anybody know how many games we're down to? Someone's keeping track. Let's get some of the numbers here on this one between Milwaukee and Phoenix here tonight. Phoenix is actually up to they're mostly a 3. The total has dripped here to 223 between these two. Maybe 223.5. There's some 224s at the sharp books right now with the Bucks and the Suns here tonight. Suns have covered 8 of 10. They're actually probably playing some of their best ball of the season, maybe because it's playoff time for the Phoenix Suns. They are in that battle with Dallas, trying to move up, but really they've got to try to make sure they just stay in the postseason picture here. Meanwhile, for Milwaukee, they're almost firmly entrenched in the top 6. There's a total divide right now in the Eastern Conference. You've got the top 6. They're probably going to be the top 6. You've got the 4 play-in teams. They're going to be the 4 play-in teams. And then you have the teams that aren't making the ball. Now, you might say every team, then you want to win them all the games. But, you know what? You're in. Can you really move up 4 or 5 games and try to, not if you're just as inconsistent as the Milwaukee Bucks here are right now, is kind of what, it feels like. So they've clinched the postseason. So usually then you just figure out towards the last couple of games if you want to win or lose a game or two, or if you need to, because the jostling is just a little bit too much to worry about where you're going to land here. Sure, the object is to win every game. We know that. What do you guys have here in this one between Milwaukee and Phoenix tonight? Let me know. Here we go to the chat. We'll cover some information and some trends. Boy, Ramon's sounding spry here, isn't he? I still have a little bit of energy. All right. Milwaukee's covered 5 of their last 6 games on the road. That's pretty good for a team that's kind of been bogus on the road this season. Phoenix has been dreadful. 14-20 against the spread, 16-24 against the spread as a favorite. But like I said, they're probably doing some of their best work here right now, having covered 5 straight games at home and won them, and where they were having so many problems. And it's just been great. Miami's a great facility. They've been. Let me get the water. My first water break. We're gonna have to do it. Yeah, Miami's been a great tournament. There's, don't I know this, Robert? That's why. That's why we get. Imagine Robert and I getting together sometime. I have a feeling that we are 2 peas in a pod. All right, Bucks for Ziggy here. Blue went with the Suns. Robert went with the over. Abel's got some props there to look at. Thomas says we're getting ready here at the end of the season. I know, text me too. I feel like tennis is my thing. I just don't know. And I don't know. I like betting game spreads. I think that's the best way to bet it. You could bet money lines too. And yeah, if it's a pick 'em, doesn't matter. But I love betting game spreads. The funny thing about, game spreads is, that's how you shape the line a little bit. And here's Abel on the over. All right, I guess I got to make my call here. Not much, I don't think, from the chat here. And yeah, well, I probably should I've always hack it up in the middle of the show anyways. Everybody knows that. All right. There's Jim. Where are you at, Jim? Jim, you're late. I know, they went with consensus Nuggets. I had to pivot to the total, Jim, if you know what I mean, brother. All right. Give me the under in this one with Milwaukee and Phoenix tonight. I'm going under here. All right, one more, guys, and that's the NBA, huh? We'll go to hockey next, and then we better go to college basketball next because it's only 11 o'clock, right? Okay. Well, some women's plays as well. Celtics and Kings wrap it up here. A pretty good game tonight with Boston favored by 4 here, and the total is down to 223. Boston's hot. I mean, they're awesome, but they did play last night. How about Sam Hauser nailing those 3-pointers last night for Boston? Sacramento's lost 2 in a row coming into this one. Now we know there's some injuries for sure. Let's review them a little bit. But Sacramento here lost to Milwaukee and Chicago here at home. They're on a homestand, but they've mucked it up here a little bit after that win over Cleveland in those games against Chicago and Milwaukee. And that doesn't get any easier here tonight with the Celtics coming into town. Boston has won 12 of their last 13 games on the road. And 4 last 5 meetings between the two teams here have gone over. Sacramento's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games at home. Sacramento's a big-time over team at home. 21-13 to the over, 15-7 to the over as a dog. But the Celtics are 13-22 to the under on the road here. So let's see what you have here in the finale in this one. The Sacramento's failed to cover the spread in 10 of their last 11 games when coming off of a loss in which they were favored. So let's see what you have here in this one when Boston takes on Sacktown tonight. We'll go to the chat. And then the NBA will be done. AOD, good morning and hello. I think Tex is talking here about this game here, maybe. Yeah, Thomas, we'll go to hockey next here with just a few games. Show's actually almost over, so I'm monopolizing your time. So we got 77 of you in here. We've got 8. Let's see. Oh, okay, here I go. Kings 4, Ziggy. Justin likes the Celtics. Blue likes the Celtics. Abel likes the Celtics. Remember, Celtics played last night, if that's a factor for you guys, but they keep winning, right? 129-116 over Portland. They beat Utah to start this trip. And the Kings did win the first meeting in Boston, remember, in a shocker, 114-97 as a 12-point favorite. Thomas likes the over. Robert likes the Celtics and the over. Our Tom's on the over as well. Thomas says it's consensus play, but we just don't know what it is. I imagine it might be the Celtics, but could be the over too. Looks like you guys are Celtics and over here in this one. And Irish King back on that Phoenix game. Thank you. Thank you, Tex. I might have messed that one up. Sorry about that. And let's see here. And, okay. Oh, Boston was the consensus play. Okay, got it. So Boston's the consensus play in this matchup from the chat. And, okay, I understand. Boston for you guys here. I'm going to take the over here as my play in this one. Give me the over tonight between Boston and Sacramento. That's it for the NBA. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hey, we won't need to win as much if this stock market situation keeps going today, but we got a long way to go to make up some of those losses. But all right. Kings for Twisted. Let's go to the ice. We got 4 games on the ice. One more here. Irish. Oh, I have an old line up there, Irish King. Oh, no, I said 4. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much 4 everywhere. Okay, let's go to the NHL. And here we go. All right, we got the Canucks on the road here, taking on the Devils here in this one. The Devils are favored tonight here at minus $1.40. The total 5.5 under 35. Let's update that line and move to that road Canucks team that does a pretty good job on the road, actually. Still. Taking on the Devils here. Get organized here. Probably not as organized as I usually am, you guys, because of the rest factor that I needed. All right, Columbus. Oops, what am I doing here? Do I got the right game up? I want to make sure I'm going the right order here. No, this is right. Okay. Canucks here coming into the teams with similar records for sure in this one, but because the Canucks are in the West, right? They're the team that's kind of battling for that wild card right now with Calgary, with Utah, with St. Louis. So pressure's on for these Canucks. Remember, they're 17-13 on the road this year, but they're not great as an underdog. Still, nonetheless, they need this win desperately. Meanwhile, for New Jersey, they're pretty much firmly entrenched, it feels like, in the playoffs right now. They're in third place in the Metro, so looking pretty okay here at this point. No time for complacency. They could move up still a little bit, but see what you got here tonight in this one between the Canucks and the Devils. Yep. Okay, I'm ready to go here right now in this one. All right, go to the chat here and get this one. New Jersey has dominated this series against Vancouver, having won 9 straight meetings when they are favored. Now, these two teams met once already this season. It was New Jersey winning at Vancouver 6-0 way back at the beginning of the season. Here we go. Let's go to it. Okay, here we go. Ziggy's on the over here. Blue is on the Canucks. VAR wants under. VAR is so mysterious. Never told me what. I mean, like I said, New York City video assisted replay. That's what I think of every time I see it. Maybe it's VAR, and maybe it's his initials, and he's from New York. I don't know. Kelly says New Jersey owns him. Don't have to tell me, VAR. I just like speculating on that. And Robert says, wow, are we going to get a 5 over 45 or something here with these two right now? Because there's no doubt that this total is moving so rapidly lower here at this point. I mean, Bet Online's now at 5.5 under 45. I mean, I know when I think of the Canucks, I think great defense. Well, I'm half kidding. Canucks are 16-22 to the under as an underdog. The Devils are 21-35 to the under as a favorite. New Jersey's gone under in 7 straight games when coming off of a loss in which they were favored. Abel likes the regulation draw. Timmy Two Shoes will move to a prop because he doesn't think there's any value now on this crazy total. Here's Robert on the Canucks. Our Tomps does like the over. Tex likes the Devils here. And let's see here. Juan Padilla's on the over here in this one. Yeah, well, Tex, that was back in October, Tex. I'm not going to worry about that, about mailing it in or something like that. It feels like here. So, all right. Well, look, this price is pretty crazy here. So let me just take the under here as my play. Feels like a premium, but do I really want to give out a total? It's 5.5 under 45. And there, I guess 5 over is actually the better price. And maybe it will be that low scoring game. I'll just take the under, though, at 5.5 under at minus. I'll call it even minus 50, I guess. I don't know. It says 35 on screen, but I think this has to be more accurate. I'm going to put 5.5 under 50. This one obviously is supposed to be a ridiculously low score, huh? Thank you, Billy Ho, talking about some props there in the chat. Next up's the Blue Jackets and the Islanders here. The Blue Jackets, they're not that team anymore, it feels like, especially we know on the road they've been really weak here. They're on a massive losing streak, but they're taking on the Islanders, and guess what? They're taking the money here at this point. The move is clearly on the Blue Jackets here in this one. I guess the Sharps just love teams on losing streaks that can't really play well on the road. Yeah, the Islanders are beset with some problems as well, but remember, they were just on a 3-game winning streak before they blew that game against Calgary at home the other night, 4-3. This line's down to a minimum, it feels like, of 130. The total, probably about 6 flat right now in this one, with the Islanders favored here. The Islanders 5-3-2 in their last 10. Columbus 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. The Islanders won back in January here at home, 3-1. Columbus did win at home in the first meeting back in October, 2-0 at home. Both teams are in a bit of a streak of unders here anyway. Recently, more unders here of late. Between these two. However, they are mostly over teams for the most part this season. Columbus is 32-25 to the over as a dog. Islanders are 20-14 to the over at home. But let me see here. Islanders have gone. Oh, I'm sorry. They've gone over in 4 straight games. Columbus has gone. They were the team on a streak of unders until they went over in that 6-3 loss to Pittsburgh. But again, it's been a losing streak here for Columbus right now. Even the home games they were losing here of late. They've lost 6 straight games. New York, let's see here. Let's go to the chat in this one and see what you've got between Columbus and the Islanders. Columbus has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road, but they've gone under in 4 of their last 5 overall. All right. Islanders have won 10 of the last 12 meetings between the two, including 5 straight between the two teams here at home. So maybe the Sharps are clearly on the Blue Jackets here. I guess Sean Perry's on them, all right? Here's Abel on the Islanders. Blues on the Islanders. Our Thomas is on the Islanders here. Might get a consensus call, and that's what Thomas says. He says the Islanders are the consensus play here in this one. How can I disagree? I usually love going with the Sharps, but not at this kind of discount right now with Columbus stinking it up. Give me the Islanders tonight. Timmy's got some props there in the chat, and Robert's willing to be the contrarian. I think the price is. I think it's just getting priced out. The Sharps, I believe, are clearly on the Blue Jackets in this game. Call me square, Robert. I'll go against you. I'll try the discount on the Islanders. The Wild are taking on the Stars here in the game of the night. Stars. I say the game of the night. It's still 2:20. I mean, look, these teams have modestly similar records, and Minnesota was struggling, but all of a sudden they've won 3 in a row. Dallas here has also won 2 of their last 3. Now, Minnesota did beat the Kings, good win at home, and beat Seattle at home, beat Buffalo at home, but on the road, they're still one of the best road teams in the league. Don't forget, Minnesota 22-10 on the road, but Dallas 26-7 at home. Really good game here. Dallas has beaten Minnesota in 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two. Dallas has won 9 of their last 10 at home, but Minnesota's covering the puck line every time out. It seems like right now they're on a 5-1 streak on the puck line. Not all of them were as underdogs, but they are a big underdog here. Minnesota's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games. Overall, we know Dallas goes under. Dallas 13-21 to the under at home, 20-32 to the under as a favorite. And, Dallas as a favorite, winning all of a sudden here when they are favored for the most part. They beat Philly 3-2 last time out. Remember, they lost to Tampa, but they were actually an underdog in that game. Lost to Colorado as a dog, lost to Winnipeg as a dog. Let's go to the chat here and see what we like with Minnesota and Dallas. All right, going to the chat. And it's going to be Abel here. He's on the Wild. And Ziggy likes the Stars in this one to get that puck line. Robert likes the under here. Jimmy Two Shoe got a prop here for us. Oh, Billy, what was we talking about that last game there? I don't know if I'm interpreting that right. I want to make sure I get that right. And our Tomps likes the Stars game to go under. All right. Well, I got to try Minnesota on the puck line here in this one. They've been pretty hot. Seems like a reasonable price here right now because of this, pretty increased line. $2. I say $2.20, but seemed like it's gone down a little bit now with the Stars. I'm sorry, the Wild here. Stars. I'm thinking Minnesota North Stars, I think is what I'm thinking about there. With the Stars here in this one, does seem like that's a pretty big price. Minnesota seemed to have picked it up. Yeah, Minnesota was having some problems, but I think a lot of their problems were injury related, and they're not clear of these injuries. I mean, we know that, but Foligno, he is questionable here tonight. Maybe they kind of are, though. Let me go to the chat here a little more. I think I've just screwed something up here, though, real quick. All right. I'm having trouble quoting the line. If anybody can help me, let me see if I'm having trouble quoting the line here on the puck line because my tab crashed. Oh boy, plus 1.5 at minus 155. I've already said it, so I guess I'm committed to it. But give me Minnesota on the puck line. I'll lay the money there, $1.55. Well, I don't know is that, but like I said, it has moved a little bit here to the Wild for sure. Okay. And Timmy says Ottinger having a little bit of an issue here of late. Hey, I want to see. Let me go to the goalie. I didn't even fire up the goalie computer here. I never fired it up yesterday either. We barely made it through the hockey card. We didn't make it through the hockey card. And I apologize if anybody stuck around yesterday and I kind of had to bail on the show because I didn't feel good. All right. Yeah, going to be Ottinger probably. Here we go. Timmy, thank you for great props here today. One more here in the NHL. Got a fun show, and I've enjoyed it. Feeling better, but I'm still going to have to lay back down here, I think. Red Wings in Utah here. Mrazek taking on Melnilka in the goal here with Detroit on the road. Underdog here to Utah. Utah's a funny sort, right? They've won 2 in a row here right now, and they beat Tampa Bay the other night, a good win. I think we had them, right? Utah in that game. They also clobbered Buffalo here on a little bit of a homestand. Detroit, meanwhile, third game of a road trip. They've pretty much gotten blown out in these first 2 games. 4-1 against Washington, 6-3 against VGK. Now, nothing wrong with that, but Utah, pretty good team here, 20-15 as a favorite. And Detroit definitely having some issues here. They've been struggling for sure. They've lost 8 out of their last 10 games coming into this one. So a little bit of momentum here for Utah. This franchise is actually the Utah Arizona franchise has won 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. Detroit struggled against this team, and quite frankly, they're having some. That Detroit streak feels like it's gone a little bit right now. Current line in this game at about $1.60, 6/20 here with the Red Wings and Utah. Let's go to the chat, see what you have here. Red Wings, Utah. And we've got, Kelly. Kelly, I kind of just stick to the, I think it's a great option. When I give out my opinions, I definitely will sprinkle and move the line, move it around so that I can try to reduce those puck lines. But you're never going to see me give it out here on the show as a play in regulation. It's always going to be a money line or a puck line. Although you do hear me sometimes say you could take it down a -1, or you could take them in regulation, but I don't make it kind of the official play at all. I'm always going to stick to this format. I could be talked off of it, maybe try to change the format, but that's just the way I do it. Blues on the, you guys, please feel free to say in regulation and all that. Blues on the puck line here. Roberts on Utah, lay the puck line. Ziggy on Utah here. Abel on Utah here. Utah reverse puck line for Billy Ho. He wants to be sure here. And Timmy says Mrazek's done a pretty good job, but he can't, go down there and score goals. Yeah, and it ends up looking bad sometimes for Mrazek and his stats too, doesn't it? So, all right, I think I'm ready to make the call unless you guys have something else. And the hockey card will be over here. I got to take this Utah team right now. And I'll just take them on the money line here. But this is one where I could take a minus a goal here in this one. I like Utah in this game. Kind of worried about Detroit. Utah's obviously dominated this franchise. Like I said, remember, they were the Arizona Coyotes, but Detroit never did well down there for sure. And also lost the home games. Kelly, what is the season series? Utah's won 4 straight meetings between the two. They met just 18 days ago, and Utah won in Detroit 4-2. So give me Utah here, and that's it for the hockey. Let's go to our college basketball coverage real quick. We'll get on out of here. Thank you for a great show today. Feeling better. All right, this game starts at the top of the hour between Incarnate Word. I've already given out my pick. It's on the over here. Hey, maybe we can go a little double play in this one. Let's see what we want to do here in the CBI today with Jacksonville favored. Now, just to be clear, this one is being played. Let me get the right here. I want to get the right. You guys probably know, but playing this game in, I think is it Daytona Beach, you guys? Yes. Playing this game in Daytona Beach. So a little bit of a regional game there for sure for Jacksonville here. Incarnate Word, they're making the trek over from Texas here, right? So still, both teams had fine seasons here. We did say the widely reported team did come on the over. Right now it's down to 3 and the total 42. Here in this one, there we go. And we'll see what you got here. Maybe take a look at some numbers with these two teams. For Incarnate Word, they're coming in off of a win here in the CBI tournament over Manhattan. Now, Jacksonville did get a bye into this game. Incarnate Word had to win on the road, or not on the road, but they were, I believe it was here, right? They beat Manhattan 92-85. Both teams pretty solid against the spread. You've got Incarnate Word 8-6 against the spread as a dog. Jacksonville 10-7 against the spread as a favorite. Whoops. Let me call up a few more numbers here and see if there's anything else we can kind of add to the situation here today in the CBI. And just thankful for some more basketball here a little bit right now. You got this Jacksonville team coming in here. They did lose their tournament game against North Alabama to snap a 3-game losing streak coming into this one. And Incarnate Word actually been alternating wins and losses. They lost in their conference tournament game to Nichols 74-70. Did not cover the spread in that one. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. Like I said, I've already went with the over. Here we go. All right. Thanks, Blue. See you later. Appreciate you. All right, let's see here. All right, Kelly says 9 a.m. Well, the game is being played in Daytona Beach, so it's a noontime start here. Still early for the kids, right? But just like a tournament game kind of here. So I've got the over. Nobody's taking anything on this one, so I'll just give out the over as my play between these two teams here. Kind of want to give out a side here and just, because it seems like when we do the double right on the first game, we've been hitting it. I like this discount. Give me Jacksonville. I'll take them on the money line or something. I'll lay 3, but if you want to throw in a little something there, come on, let's have some fun today. Give me Jacksonville and the over here in this one. Oops. All right, Army. With all due respect, someone gave us Army yesterday. I don't remember who it was, but if you're there in the chat, please let me know. Here, the one unfortunate thing is I don't think these games are going to be available on these games are not regular TV. And like I said, maybe I can find a stream out there, but I did not subscribe to Flow Hoops. I think this is on Flow Hoops down there, but it is a little bit of a bummer. Like I said, I might have to rest through these ones, but Army and Gulf Coast here. You got Gulf Coast, a big favorite. Totals moved up here too to 152 because that's what all these games do, pretty much going over right now in these small tournament and these other tournament games. I don't say that. The NIT, even though we know it's not the NCAA tournament, still should be respected after all these years. I know a lot of you know this, but in case you don't, the NIT used to be the tournament. The NCAA tournament wasn't. This is decades ago, but the NIT was the tournament you wanted to win, and only later did they make the NCAA tournament kind of evolve into the tournament that became the national championship. One team, City College of New York, actually won both tournaments in the same year. Could you imagine? All right, Gulf Coast comes in having won 4 of their last 5 games coming in. They lost to Queens, of course, 71-65 to end that 4-game losing streak and put an end to their NCAA tournament hopes. They got the bye in here. Meanwhile, Army beat Elon 83-78 as a 3.5-point dog to get the money last time out. Both teams are kind of mediocre against the spread for sure. This season, both hovering around 500, but Florida Gulf Coast 7-13 to the under as a favorite. Army 17-12 to the over. Overall, the move has clearly been on the over here in this one, and and it's on pretty much on Gulf Coast. It feels like, although I just had to adjust it there from a 10 to a 9.5. So, in fact, I'm showing 9 here at some of the sharp books right now. Let's see what you guys have. Florida, Gulf Coast, and Army. Florida Gulf Coast Credit Union, as I like to call them. Here we go. Yeah, right. Kelly, that's a big talk right now amongst the gambling communities that I follow. That the first half all under, and then look at the second half. Not all of them did, but in general, it's almost been the NCAA tournament in general have been unders in the first half. Now, don't confuse that with this event. We're talking NCAA tournament, Kelly and I, but NCAA tournament. Um, you know, you want to go through the numbers a little bit. It's under in the first half, over in the second half in the NCAA tournament. And Dimitri, hello to Dimitri, likes Army a little bit here in this one. And Kelly wants to sing the song. The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're a shooting star in one shining moment. You know what's going to be? You know who we've already, the MVP, of course. Yeah, maybe Cooper. Uh, who will the MVP of the NCAA tournament be? Who will be that shooting star of the NCAA tournament? Could it be Cooper Flagg? Could it be Walter Clayton? No, it's the replay monitor. That's the MVP of the tournament. Robert here on the over. And Kelly, you know what, though? I'm actually, even though you guys know I'm very sentimental and I'm even a crier, I'm tired of, I think one shining moment is a little bit tired. I know I'm not singling you out. I'm not, you know what, when the game's over, I kind of turn off the song. All right. I think that you guys not too hip on this. I know you love to bet. Maybe nobody's liking the tournament here too much today. So let me make my call here, though, in this one. And boy, I love the side and the total here, I think. Guess I'm going to take another over as my play here on the show. It's kind of gone up a little bit, but I've got a premium on the side in this one. All right. Kelly, you know what? After all these years, and, I know you're younger than I am. I'm not going to, call you out. And just feel like I'm over one shining moment there a little bit. Maybe they need to revise the song. Remember, there's been two versions of one shining moment that have been recorded in the past. And they changed the song over the years. But, I'm a Luther Vandross fan. And, when David Barrett, there's a whole story behind the song, but Kelly, the show's over. We're talking about whatever we want. One more game here in the CBI and that 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. We already talked about the steam that came in between Queens and Cleveland State. So what are you guys going to do here? We'll just wrap up the show anyways. Nobody's really caring about the CBI. Maybe you're just going to roll with my picks here because I can crush this card here today. Let's see what you guys have in this one. This one feels a little bit tougher to me. I'm going to take Cleveland State on this increased line here. Cleveland State -4. Said that steam came in. Total may make my card here. Going to be just probably one premium for sure right now. So Cleveland State, they got the bye here into the, this is a thing. Couldn't get all the teams to fill these spots. They just couldn't. Too many teams just, they don't want to go. They got to pay to get in pretty much to these tournaments a little bit. Still could be a profitable thing for some of the teams, but really you're just rewarding your players a little bit. And Cleveland State here favored in this one. Queens had to play to come into this game. They beat NAU 95-85 to 78 yesterday. So remember, some of these teams are lying in wait a little bit for their opponent here. So I'm going to take Cleveland State in this one. Cleveland State did look pretty good in its conference tournament. They beat Northern Kentucky. They did get beat by Youngstown. They just lost. They were favored in that game, but it was a close game, a defensive game. there in that one. I'm going to take Cleveland State as my play here on the show to beat Queens College. Queen College is on a roll right now, covering spreads. They're actually on a spread winning streak. Want to mention here real quick, Robert McCormick, you're going to see that game, that hockey game. We're going to get the first fives in there for sure. The hockey total in the Canucks and Devils game, Circa's moved to 5.5 under 50. Bet Online is now 5.5 under minus 158. Bovada has moved to 5 over 33. This is probably the lowest total of the year right now, it feels like, in the game between the Canucks and the Devils here tonight. Just want to mention that real quick as we get ready. We're going to have some women's picks. Get ready right now here on the show. Anybody got a pick, though? The Queens is on a spread roll right now, no doubt about it. They lost to Lipscomb, but did cover the spread, 81-75. They beat Gulf Coast. If you want to make some comparisons here, a little bit in the CBI. They were in the same conference as Gulf Coast, of course, but they beat Gulf Coast about 3 weeks ago, 71-65 as a 4.5-point dog. Queens College was 18-13 against the spread this season. They're riding a spread winning streak here right now. All right. And there's Robert on Cleveland State. And R. Thompson, I love Luther Vandross. And here's Thomas on Cleveland State. Robert likes the over here as well. And Billy Ho talking, about some of the women's tournaments here. Johnny Walker's got over in Queen's game in Cleveland State. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. That's going to wrap it up. We got a few more plays coming up in women's ball, but first, let me talk about how you can get more plays from me even on a day like today. Maybe I will have time to get to some late tennis here a little bit. Probably fire away and watch some tennis in bed this morning. Some ladies' tennis in bed. The neighbors always wonder why the grunting in the middle of the night when I'm watching those overseas tournaments, kind of salty reputation that I have. I tell them I'm watching tennis and they don't believe me. All right. Let's make sure you go to winnable.com. You get more plays from me today here on my free subscription over at Winnable. And also my paid package, $19.95 a month, 56 cents a day. Ooh, baby, yawning here. Really thank you for sticking with me here today, making me feel really good to stick through this show a couple of hours. So really appreciate it. You can get my picks over at Winnable. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Sean Perry, he uses WAP. I don't think I've looked at WAP. I've looked at Dub Club. No disrespect, but get this. Dub Club rejected me. I don't know. It seems like anybody can get on Dub Club except Ramon. Dub Club said, no, thank you. WAP, I don't know if I like WAP. I didn't use what's some other ways that people kind of get the picks. Here's the thing, right? Ramon sells his picks. I sell the picks for 56 cents a day when you subscribe to a month. This is how you support me here on the channel. We're user supported and you get some good content. This is how this is my job right here, talking to you guys, and it motivates me every day, even when I'm sick in bed, to get up, wake up here, even if it was just 90 minutes of a late prep today because I needed to get some sleep. But this is how you support me here on the channel and keep coming back. If I run out of subscribers, I'm leaving the Sports Money Network, but that doesn't going to happen right now. We've got over 4 dozen of you signed up on the paid packages. Look how rich I'm getting off of this, right? It's an average of 56 cents a day, and I've got 4 dozen subscribers. You do the math. Okay, we make our money off of betting here. This is just a whittle it down a little bit, see who's interested, see who's not. I'm probably never going to change the price. I got some high roller picks across the street. I think you guys know that by now. I've been invited back and been over there on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel every day. Hopefully you guys are catching me there with Rod Zawacki and Ron Crawford, two good buddies of mine. We do a show every day over there at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific. Leads you right up into pre-gaming here on the Sports Money Network with Mikey Money. So it's not about the money, but I love your support. For 56 cents a day, you can do it when you use the promo code STEAM over at winnable.com/Ramon. Get more plays from me. Look, you don't have to go through and bet every game. I'm a high volume bettor, but you have your own opinions. I know you do. We all do, right? But then you can look to see maybe what I'm on here. We're just getting news. Damian Lillard will not play tonight against the Phoenix Suns. This just coming to our attention here. Lillard, he's been a little bit saddled with injuries here of late, so Lillard misses tonight. See that just coming across here right now. So use that promo code STEAM to save 20% off those premium pick packages. And please consider subscribing. Like I said, even if you just did it once in a while or something like that, I really appreciate it. All right, a few more comments from you guys, and then we're going to give out those women's plays, and we're going to do the drawing here, of course, with Thomas. He's got a bunch of plays for us today on, dare I say, Degenerate Monday. Had to get one more in there, the New York Islanders. I want to say hello to Saint. Thank you for stopping by here, Saint. And who is that? I'm just too small to see who it is. I can see it's a Chicago Bull, but my screen is maybe too small in the end. So thank you, Timmy. That is such nice comments from you, right? The thing is, when you deal in high volume, and this is how I do it, right? I mean, I think guys like a Sean Perry, they want to bet $1 million a game, and then if they lose, they're going to bet $2 million a game. If they lose that one, they're going to bet $4 million. The old martingale technique, probably more. That's more your speed, Sean Perry. You're a martingale kind of guy. Here I play the volume, and I like to share my opinions. Vegas, I should be joining Vegas Hike Life. That's what I should be doing. Get some exercise. I bought a treadmill, and I just think about it when I think of our friend. They celebrated the life of Mitch. Mitch, and he passed away running on that treadmill. And to me, when that happened, I didn't do it as a something that like that. I just thought, if he was doing it, then I need to be doing it too, type of thing. And it really made me think about it. And I know that was a total different situation and all that, but it made me think of, you need to stay in shape, Ramon. I don't play any sports anymore here, and just felt like that's what I needed to do. So, here's one more big news here right now. A little bit of breaking news. Anthony Davis is scheduled to play here in the game tonight. He's been upgraded to questionable. I say scheduled to play. I'm not serious about that yet, but the fact that Davis's status right now has been moved to questionable. This just breaking here as we get off the show. I'm looking at it here, and also starting to lose my focus there. Textile says he's been upgraded here to questionable. I think that's good news, actually. And I would expect that Davis may actually make this lineup tonight. So, hey, Team Steam consensus. You guys are on Dallas here. I went with the over, and AD upgraded to questionable. I think that is a big move here. It feels like for me. Okay, let's get to some of those women's plays. Remember, the action here on the women's side begins in just 30 minutes. So, look, we're not devoid of NCAA tournament basketball here today. We are ready to go in the NCAA tournament. We are just 30 minutes away from the game between Michigan State and North Carolina State. The line in that one is bring up at least the banner here. I didn't do graphics for the women. We may do some graphics for the women when we get down to the next round, and depends on how the schedule goes and everything. I know when they'll play on the same day of those men's games makes it rough, but all right, coming up, top of the hour, Michigan State and NC State in this one. I've seen the total drop here from 151 to 147. I do like the under in the game between Michigan State and NC State. And also right after that, Illinois and Texas. I also have the under in this game at 132.5. Look, the one thing we're hitting here on the show has been these women's plays here so far last couple of days. Oh, you're right, Artem. I don't want to know. When I go to the doctor, they wonder why. They wonder how I'm still alive. So, I used to play my softball games every night of the week, and that helped. But I'm retired from that. I'm not playing right now, and I feel like everything is deteriorating my body. And when I get ill, I think the worst there. But now I'm feeling better. I got on the treadmill, worked up a big sweat last night, passed out, woke up, went to Sonic, got that slushy to quench my thirst, even though it's just a bunch of sugar. All right. Thanks, everybody. Oh, let me see here. Let me look at so that next game. I've got the under Illinois and Texas. That's at 2 Eastern and 1 Pacific. And I think that'll do. I'm going to send out the rest. There's only 6 other games. I need some plays today. I need some premiums or some free picks. So hopefully that'll be okay. 2 plays get started. Those first 2 games later on. We've got great games today. Iowa and Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 5, 155. Alabama and Maryland. This one's nearly a toss-up. Alabama by 1. The total there, 151. Also, Florida State and LSU. LSU favored by 10, 169.5. Not breaking news, but Flau'jae Johnson did return to the lineup. She looked very explosive in that game. So Flau'jae is back for the Tigers, and she's looking good, of course. And does anybody old enough to remember? Old enough, but did anybody ever watch when Flau'jae did that rap when she was on America's Got Talent before she was a basketball star and did that song about her dad? Do you guys ever see that? How did it go, you guys? If he put that gun away, he would still be here today. All right, West Virginia -2 at versus North Carolina, 126. South Dakota State and UConn. UConn 27.5, 136.5 in that one. All right, and also Mississippi State and the USC Trojans tonight. USC 18 and 145. You want my women's picks? Go over to winnable.com. Get the subscription over there from me. Thank you for a great show. Let's do the drawing. Here we go. Let me put up my cover here. I think Thomas probably thought I forgot. I almost did. Okay, we're getting ready for the drawing. We've got a lot of comments in here today. Let's go. Here we go. 40 of you in the drawing. Johnny, Doubles, James, Abel, Terrell, Kelly, Jim, Gnarly, Joe W, Daddy Beats, Justin McKelvey, Jim Casey, and it's Daddy Beats. Thank you, Daddy Beats. I don't know if Daddy Beats is here for the end of the show, but he's getting that 7-teamer today. Could Daddy Beats be walking home with $100 or more here in this one? Hey, blow us up. Like, share, and subscribe. The only way Daddy Beats is going to win more money is if the show gets viewed on YouTube. Remember the formula. I donate a whole penny because Hey, I only charge 56 cents for the picks, so 1 cent per view on YouTube times this 7-teamer here today. So Daddy Beats can win a nice little prize should we hit this 7-teamer today. Thanks for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Make sure you join Mikey Money here today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action on pre-gaming, and I'll be back tomorrow here with more Morning Steam. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for making me feel a lot better today, Vegas. I hopefully you got it. There, Vegas Hype Life loves Flage like I do. And she had missed more than a few. She sat out the whole SEC tournament with that. I believe it was a calf strain, but she looked explosive. She looked just like she does in that last game. So thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it. Join me back here tomorrow for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.